Rochdale 13 with Hornets Chief Exec Ryan Bradley. First off, Ryan, we've got the Super 8 schedule now. After a bit of a dodgy first draft, are you happy where we're up to now?
I'm certainly happier. I won't say I was ecstatic with the fixture. We start with 2 away games, which I know Alan's really happy with because he wants them, out of the way and done. But for us, cash flow wise, it does cause us a few issues. We had the pitch work, so 6 week off. Came back, played 2 home games, and now we've got another 3 or 4 weeks without a home game. So it will affect us, sort of off the pitch, but we'll manage it and we'll get through. Like I said, I think the first draft, it had us going to Toulouse on the last week and London as well on the Friday before Wembley, which is not ideal, and we raised our concerns on that. We thought that with a full-time team like Toulouse in the competition, it's only fair that they'd be the ones that travel on a Friday, rather than ourselves or Barrow, who's the other ones who in a draft were going down there on a Friday night. And similar with Toulouse, the way it's set at the moment, we're looking pretty good in that second spot, and we could easily be going to Toulouse last game of the season, and then going again the week after in the 1v2 playoff final, which it was something that the RFL said they hadn't considered, and they were only happy to look at it and redraft it. So no, we've worked hard to get a fixture list that's doable and suits us, and I think it gives us a real good chance, certainly on the field, to secure that one of them top 2 spots.
And obviously in the Super 8s we'll face York at Scotland. There's a bit of going through a bit of turmoil themselves, York. There's a bit of news brought recently that there are certain games that they can't play when they want or when they're scheduled to play, stuff like that. I just wonder what you made of the situation and how it'll affect us going forward. Yeah,
fixture planning is always hard work. I know that we're in a shared stadium, we share obviously with the football club, and whenever fixture planning comes around, it is it is a bit of a fine art, making sure that things fit around football and fit around the needs of the groundsman, and also fit around the needs of Alan and the performance squad as well. It is a balancing act. We've managed to pull it off here with the good relationship that we have, but unfortunately York are struggling at the moment from what I understand. I've seen on social media that the game against Doncaster is postponed. I've spoken to the RFL, they said that the game obviously isn't officially postponed yet, but it's something that might have to happen. Outside of that, I know they're struggling in other areas as well, and there's talk of folding altogether, which I think would be a shame for the competition. We've travelled. York are the only team to beat us this year in the league, so obviously that we've had to have that battle with them, and they also knocked us out the Pro Cup as well. So if you do fold, it raises a lot of questions over the competition and where it leaves us. I mean, without a York in there at the start, could we have reached the Pro Cup final and won a trophy, and we'd be sitting joint top unbeaten at this moment in time. So for them to pull out now, I think, could be unfair. But I understand it's not about what Rochdale want, and it's to some extent it's not even about what York want. It's what what creditors and ground staff and directors and all them sort of people want. So I do feel for the situation that we're in. I just hope that the RFL move pretty quickly to resolve it, and that things just don't drag on, because that's not in anyone's best interest really. We just need an answer, and then we can move forward with the rest of the season.
And you touched on there the relationship between rugby club and football club in terms of a ground share. Obviously now Rochdale Football Club have taken on the Scotland Stadium. There's been works planned to go ahead in recent weeks and whatnot. I just wondered if you could give us an update on where we're at with the stadium.
Yeah, the football club bought Deanhurst Park Stadium Company, so they now own that outright. It's good really. It's taken away a little bit of politics, if you will. It used to be if a wall needed painted, you used to have to get 3 people to agree on the colour, whereas now it's just a case of going to the football club, agreeing it, and finance allow it gets done. Look, the stadium's been neglected for a long period of time, and I know the decorator's been in this week. He said he remembers painting them same walls 20 years ago, and they've not been touched in between. So it's been neglected. There's a lot of things that need doing. I know the pitch took priority. We had some failed drainage last season, which made a real mess down the sandy lane end of the pitch. So they've spent best part of 6 figures doing that, and that will only benefit both teams going forward. The rest of it, there was strong plans to start renovating the corporate areas of the ground. We've seen bits of improvement there as finances allow, but there's only so much you can do with limited finances. We're happy to play our part. We've secured a sponsor for one of the rooms at Scotland, and I believe the football club are going to use that to revamp the boardroom and give that a new lease of life, and have we can use that sort of not for our directors but as a good corporate area for a different sort of offering. So it's been positive. Things are starting to get done. We're starting to see paint on the walls and the drainage done in the pitch works. I'm sure that as and when finances allow, more will get done.
And now we're at the Super 8s stage. Obviously it's what some will call the final run-in. We've got 7 more games before the actual playoffs. Does that mean you've started planning now for 2017 in terms of budget and stuff like that?
Definitely, yeah. We didn't expect to be in this situation and that we're in, where we've got a real chance of promotion now. Our aim when we set out at the start of the season was to go better than we did last year. That's always our aim, to improve at a steady rate. But Alan's done a great job and got us into this position. It'd be a shame to waste that. We've been busy over this last week making some signings. None of them are sort of short term. They're all looking at longer term deals, and he signed players with Championship in mind rather than with League One. So we've certainly changed our focus that way. We've also got the sort of continuity this year of knowing that Alan's going to be here next year. He's on a 2-year deal, so he can start to plan now. In the past, we've sort of boxed out of a corner, and I remember when Toll was here in 2013, we got promoted, and we got promoted October, and November we're looking at signing players for that season, and everyone had sort of been signed up and gone because we didn't have that continuity of knowing that Toll was going to be here or knowing what division we're in. So we sort of learned lessons from then, and we sat down with Alan a couple of months ago, and we thrashed out a couple of budgets. We put them to the board, and they've been agreed in principle. So we're in a great position now where Alan knows he's going to be here next year. He knows what his budget is. He can go out there and speak to certainly our current players and tell them who he's got his thinkings for next year, and we can start looking a little bit wider afield now. We're constantly getting calls off agents and them offering players out, and we're in a good position now to sort of say yeah or no to them now, and make sure that when November comes we've got the squad in place rather than scrapping around at last minute really.
And just in terms of sponsorship for 2017, I know you yourself, you love getting out there, talking to people, networking with various companies and whatnot. Is there anything in the pipeline, anything big that we can be looking toward, or have you got people in mind?
Well, we've certainly got people in mind that we talk to. Sponsorship, it works in sort of works in a strange way really. Nobody sponsors something forever. So we've got people who sponsor our kit now who feel that they've done their part and will support the club in other ways. So we've to replace them. So we've certainly got kit opportunities in terms of shirt sponsorship and hospitality boxes and things like that, which like I mentioned there, we spoke to Alan, he's got his playing budget, but for him to be able to spend all that playing budget, we need to bring that income in. So yeah, he's out there spending that budget now, so we need the budget lined up now. We've also got your kit manufacturing time frames and things like that. So now is definitely the time when we're out there looking to finalise the shirt sponsors and the kit sponsors for next season. And we've held, it's no coincidence that in the last couple of weeks we've held 3 big networking events, speaking to various companies across Rochdale, and sort of finding out who has that facility to support us as the town's professional rugby league team. So we're following that up. We'll look to get people booked in and sort of again make sure that we're in a very good position come November. if we do manage to get up, it'll be a great achievement, and we want to make sure that we're ready for it this time and ready to kick on once we do get into Championship.
Yeah, I just want to touch on Mossway, the facility we've got as a training base. Thanks to Rycroft's, it's been properly looked after in the last few months for the first time since we've had it, really. The pitch is looking good, there's a good building up there. We want to add to that, obviously. Just wonder what your thoughts on Mossway is going forward.
Yeah, Mossway came about where it was probably 3 years ago. It was one of the first planning meetings that I had when we started here, and we looked and we need a base within Rochdale. Scotland's great. It's our we're here for the next 25 years at least, playing our home fixtures here. But we need a base away from here where we can lay down some roots. We currently train over at Warrington and have a dual registration partnership over there, which is fantastic. And we use, we've used Link for Life facilities and Hotwood Old College. But I think you can only be nomads for so long, and as a professional team within the borough, we need somewhere where we can, put down our roots and really do some development work. And Mossway offered that for us. We looked around a number of sites in the borough, and we considered, various places from Springle Park to Kingsway to everywhere back and beyond, really. But Mossway was a great one for us. It offers. It's in an area where there is no rugby league going on at the moment, so it gives us a good development tool. It's close to Manchester, close to the motorway, and it's in a very good, quiet, idyllic location. So it will feature long term for us, but it all comes down to that magic, that magic substance called money. If we can get some grant funding in, get some sponsorship in, get some private individuals behind it, it will very quickly become our first team base and a community facility going forward. If the finance takes a little bit longer to come, then it'll take a little bit longer for the club to realise that dream. But again, we've got a long-term lease on there. It's affordable, and like I said, thanks to Rycroft's and the help of volunteers, it's usable at the moment, and it's serving its purpose. But long-term, we've got some good plans for it. We just need to strategically assess how we get there.
Cheers, Ryan.
Thank you.